time Thingyan finally arrived. As soon as we Myanmar citizens hear the Thingyan song, we stimulate with full of joyness without awareness. We jump, we shout, we sing, we play, we dance with a lot of happiness. But we don't know exactly where Thingyan come from, how Thingyan happened, what is the purpose or reason of celebrating Thingyan, what Thingyan means. Let's start with this. Thingyan, which means transit of the sands from Nepal to Asis, is the Burmese New Year festival that usually occurs in the middle of April. It is a Buddhist festival celebrated over a period of 4 to 5 days, culminating in the New Year. The state of the Thingyan festivals are calculated according to the Burmese calendar. The days of the Thingyan festival are observed as public holidays throughout Myanmar and are part of the summer holidays. At the end of the school year, water throwing or dodging one another from any shape or form of vessels or device that delivers water is the distinguishing features of this festival, and may be done on the first 4 days of the festival. Thingyan is comparable to other festivals in the region such as the Songkran in Laos and Thailand, the Cambodian New Year, the Sinhalese New Year, and the Bihu festival of Assam. The Thingyan festival runs roughly from 13 to 16 April each year and signifies the end of the hot drying season, as well as the chance to take stock, reflect, and wash away the previous year's misgiving or bad luck. It is also a time of national celebration with state and sponsor family gathering, including water soaking station, music and more. There are almost 5 days in Thingyan. They are Htoi day welcoming to the god of spirits, a third day of god spirits leaves heaven and come down to earth. A third day which is 2 days in the leap year, a third day god spirits return to heaven, a New Year day which is the end of the water festival. During a Htoi day to a third day, people enjoy water festival. There is more wondering and interesting story about how Thingyan started and the history of the Thingyan. At one time when the king of Devas, the Jamin, and the king of Myanmar called Aloysius Gonzaga, the Jamin said, "In the living world there has 8 days per week before the age of Kataba Buddha, but nowadays it changes to 7 days per week." But the king of Myanmar conflicted. "There is not impossible," and they started the argument. After that, they make a deal to cut the head of the one who loses, and then they come down to the living world and they adopt the decision from the hermit who is perfect with moral and concentration of the mind at the time. That hermit gives the decision, that is, nowadays in the living world, there has 7 days from the beginning to the end, instead with Sandi. The king of Myanmar cut his head as his promise and covered to the hand of the Jamin. The king of Myanmar called Asi lost a wages to the king of Devas, the Jamin, who decapitated Asi as agreed that the head of an elephant was brought onto the Myanmar's body, who then became Ganesha, also known as the god of Hindu. There is more interesting thing that when the head of Myanmar reached to the Jamin think that the Myanmar was so powerful that if the head was thrown onto the land, it would suffer from drought for 7 days. It was thrown into the water, the 7 oceans were dried up immediately. Therefore, he didn't throw anywhere, and the Jamin managed that the Myanmar has been carried by one princess after another, taking turns for a year each among 7 princes. Thus, the Jamin who has come to signify the changing of hands of the Myanmar's head. That is the start of the Thingyan and the story about the Thingyan. In Myanmar, there has the Thingyan song, which is published each year. In the Thingyan song, we can notice them. They state about the transition of the Myanmar's head. Whenever we can memorize the meaning of Thingyan is transition, Bagan age is the beginning of the Myanmar Thingyan. According to the Asian documents, the king who finally started the water festival was Naratihapatid in Bagan age. That king was poisoned in the mill by his queen Solon because he killed his wife with water. That caused the assassination. The king knew it in time and he didn't die for that, and he ordered to kill the queen Solon into the flames of coal. So, the beginning of the Thingyan is heartbreaking record. There is more interesting about Thingyan. That is about of Tao and about Atadi and Atasa. Atao. During Thingyan, you can see every house as pots with different kinds of flowers. Some house has only one and the other has 2 or 3 or more. These are called Atao. Atao takes the center stage of Myanmar Thingyan. Myanmar people believe that the Jamin comes from the heaven to the world. Atao are the welcoming posts for the Jamin. Myanmar people always prepare the Atao before celebrating Thingyan festival. To have peace for 7 days people, Myanmar people put 7 kinds of flowers in these pots and put full of water. In the middle region of Myanmar, after finish the Thingyan Festival, people remove the water from the pot and pray to get peace and wealth for all people around the world. Ata Day and Atasa. Ata Day is also the Atat Day, the last day of Thingyan Festival and also the last day of Myanmar yearly calendar. If the end of the day and your birthday are on the same end, it is called Atasa. Myanmar people also believe that if you are in Atasa, you can get backlash during a year, so they can prepare one Atao for each person who are Atasa to avoid the backlash. So that is why you can see the different number of Atao in front of the houses. During Thingyan Festival, Myanmar citizens share food for all kinds of people, rich or poor, in front of the houses, beside the road, or in the monasteries. Like many other festivals around the world, Thingyan has its own unique festival foods. The most popular Thingyan foods are mola sang, shui yi, and mola nibo. Mola sang is a type of wheat flour with cold jaggery juice or coconut milk. Shui yi is similar like mola sang, but it has extra ingredient of bread, sticky rice, and different color of assorted jellies eaten with cold coconut milk. Mola nibo is also the son of Thingyan. It is a floating rice straw ball, which had been won, and when it floats in water, it can be ready to eat. In the center, it has a piece of jaggery and served with coconut shreds. Many people believe that when they eat monoyeber, even they face difficulties, they can get legs again, like the floating rice straw ball in the water. After 4 or 5 days of Thingyan, a New Year Day comes. In New Year days, it is time for people to visit the elders to pay respect. Young people perform hair washing for the elderly with shampoo beans and bark. Some people release fishes into large lakes and river with a prayer and which saying, "I release you once, you release me 10 times." Thingyan is a time for wines in the tradition of Theravada Buddhism. When they were joined the monks and spent a short time in a monastery, immersed in the teaching of Buddha's Dhamma. On the New Year days, people make food donation at various places. The celebration of Burmese New Year is so wonderful and interesting. For more interest, let's hear how people replying upon on Thingyan and how they celebrate.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Did you tell my Pyoe lah?
Yes, it's very happy. Yeah, I'm very happy.
The bar season she live on us. Did you my logo? Also di the Jan hello. Charlie was in she mà là. Bên này là lên mình sinh ra thà.
Hay là đi nó. Đi là shit.
Là. Rồi đi the Jan chơi lễ bộ về sinh ra là về phải ya phong đi giáo này ta bộ sinh chị là. Ô bà rồi cô rồi the Jan lúc này rồi cao cho chị được chưa? The Jan hello, nhanh chóng mua này bên này đi the Jan lo có mì mì ô, xây dựng lâu cái rồi thế này mà rồi, học biết rồi, đi ra bên đó, nhanh chế xuất được nó, ô bà vì nít tao mà biểu số mà gì nó,
mình đã xem mà cái à, nè nhanh mà nó là miếng sườn, anh kiểu sao có mà đấy, hello, đi bên rồi, à chú này à lười rồi chân này à còn lười.
Điều đó rồi sao? Nó, tụi nó là tao rồi sao? Rồi chỉ là sẽ có mà.
Rồi, Christian so với mẹ, nhà mình nè từ cháu nó, từ đi Pyoe vào, tao mẹ, hello, đi ra đấy thằng cho công ty cháu người nào vào rồi mình xí rồi, anh em không mang cái tiền gì. Cho sẽ có mà, hello, Myanmar đấy á. Yếu ya rồi đó rồi, ấy thì từ trên nhiều các cái nhà là chấm mà rồi nó, rồi sẽ có mà đấy cho nó lên từng ngày sinh ra, super mà để ra rồi nó là nhiều rồi, anh em sẽ có mà để chơi gì, tập pháp mà cho nó là anh chị lấy gì mà, cô ví dụ mà sai cái này, anh chị đá thì em nhá này, người dân tay mua thì accident thì chết đấy bà, trong nó ví sai luôn.
အခုလိုမျိုးထီးရတဲ့ပေါ့နော်
ကျေးဇူးတင်ပါတယ်ကျွန်တော်လည်းရအောင်တောင်းပါတယ်